Honestly, something that I've noticed about successful people, and honestly, even with myself, and one of the biggest reasons why I feel like I've been able to have such success in my life, is that successful people aren't afraid to leave. And what I mean by that is they're not afraid to leave situations where they feel disrespected. They're not afraid to leave situations where they feel undervalued in any way. They're also not afraid to leave when something just feels off. And I don't think people realize how much that actually matters. You can look up online different scenarios of this, like Oprah Winfrey being told that she wasn't a fit for TV. She left that situation and then built her own platform instead of staying where she wasn't valued. Or even LeBron James leaving the Cavs where he can go to a different environment where he can grow and win. There's tons of examples of this, successful people in general. This isn't anything new. Successful people do this all the time. I just don't think it's talked about enough. But it is one of the biggest reasons why many of these people are so successful in their life. Because what it comes down to is people who respect themselves and know what they bring to the table. They aren't afraid to walk away when something doesn't match that. People talk about, discipline, consistency, which those both also play a huge role in being successful. But I don't think people talk enough about what successful people are willing to walk away from. And for me personally, that's just how I move. I literally leave situations where they aren't a fit for me. If I'm being undervalued, I leave. If I feel like I'm being disrespected in any way, I'm out of there. If I feel like I'm being undervalued, I'm gone. If I feel like I have to shrink myself just to fit somewhere, I'm gone. I'm out of there. I don't make it a big whole thing. I don't cause a scene. I just remove myself. I respect myself too much to be in situations that don't fit me. I value myself too much to be in situations where people are continuously disrespecting me on a daily basis. And I don't do it in an egotistical way or anything. I just know what kind of attributes and aspects I bring to the table where I will not stay in a situation that I feel disrespected in at all. For example, when I decided to leave my job, I think it was about, I don't know, 2.5 years ago now, I decided to leave my job just because I felt like I was being disrespected a lot and I felt like I deserved more. So I decided to leave that situation. That situation was no longer serving me. I felt that I deserved more. I knew what type of value I brought to the table and I ended up leaving because I was like, this is making me ugly. This is making me question my self-worth. This is making me question the respect that I deserve. And I respected myself too much to stay in a situation that I felt that I needed to continuously shrink myself to be in. I kept asking for growth and I wasn't getting it. I kept asking for more things to do. I wasn't getting it. I kept asking for this mentorship. I wasn't getting it. I just felt that I deserved more. So I got up and I left. And fast forward to now, me leaving that job allowed to make so much more room in my life for things that I actually deserved. I moved to California. I work for a top tech company. I'm making more than twice as much money now than I was back then. Me leaving that environment that no longer served me allowed me to make so much more room in my life for things that I can actually grow with. Literally, me making that decision to leave, my whole entire environment changed for the better. Even my skin is so much clearer. Just little things like that. And because I made that decision to leave, now I'm around people who actually respect me. I'm around people who see the value in me and who act on the value in me. I'm around people who can provide that mentorship to me. And I'm around people who want to see me grow, who want to see me do good, who want to see me successful. And I've had mentors come into my life too that I would have never come into contact with if I didn't leave that terrible situation that I was in. And this all happened because I put myself into better situations by leaving the wrong ones. And I think where a lot of people get stuck is where they feel off in some sort of situation that they're in, but they decide to stay anyway, and they decide to stay for a very long period of time. And I'm not talking about, toxic situations. I'm not talking about those situations at all. That can be something totally else. I'm not talking about those situations at all. But I'm talking about situations where you actually can leave, you are safe to leave, you have the free will to do so. That's the situations I'm talking about. So just preface right there. Yeah, anyway, so I'm just talking about, where something does feel off and they stay anyway, and they decide to stay for a very long period of time because it's familiar, because it's comfortable, because, I don't know, maybe leaving feels like a whole thing to you, maybe. So I don't feel that success is what you go after. It's about what you're willing to walk away from. Because a lot of people know they deserve better deep down, but if they don't act on it, then what are they going to do with that? Because me being in that situation, feeling you're like shit every day, I genuinely took that as a sign that I need to get out of here because if I don't leave this situation, I literally saw my whole life flash forward before my eyes. If I stay in this job, I'm gonna be in this terrible situation for a really long time and I'm just not gonna be happy. So genuinely to me, anything sounded better than being in that situation. So it's like, I'm gonna get out, I'm gonna make room in my life for things that I deserve. I'm gonna make room in my life for things to just come into fruition. And honestly, as soon as I left, it just felt like everything went into place. I finished my MBA, I moved to California, started working in tech, have a hot girlfriend now. I remember being at that job day to day It felt like that one SpongeBob episode where Squidward was just so miserable. It literally felt like everything was the same. Nothing was changing. I wasn't growing as a person. I wasn't growing in my job. Even though I was trying to, I was taking courses. I was getting my MBA at the time. I felt that I wasn't growing. I just knew deep in my core I deserved so much better than to be in an environment where I felt the need to shrink in. And I remember coming home day after day and be like, am I tripping? Is this an actual bad environment? Am I actually worth this environment or do I deserve better? And it turns out I definitely deserved better because I went out and I got better. And honestly, just leaving that job not only did it allow me to meet new mentors in my life, but it allowed me to meet people with like-minded mindsets where we're continuously looking to grow. You know, we're learning about stocks, we're learning about coding. Reflecting back, if I would have stayed in that environment, I probably would have been working in the same role right now. I would have been miserable. I wouldn't have learned how to code. I wouldn't have learned so much about the stock market and been able to make a bunch of money off of that too. And then with the topic of maybe even the butterfly effect too, like if I didn't quit my job, I wouldn't be with my current girlfriend right now. It is that deep to me. Me quitting that job, it roller coastered into so many successful things for me. If I didn't leave that job, I would be so fucking miserable right now. Like that is the premise of this video. I am pro leaving, I'm pro making more room in your life for things that actually serve you, things that will make you a better person, things that will teach you how to learn new things. I hope y'all have a great night, a great day. Let me know if this resonated, which I know it did. Talk to y'all later.